How you doing?
What's up, dude?
Wow.
Hey, let's welcome back,
Talk
Guy.
about
Everybody,
astral projection.
right? Did we just get here?
Jeez.
Did we just transport? Are we here now?
That's awesome.
Okay. Hey,
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, puppy. So,
I know. I'm kidding.
nothing happened over there, puppy. Hey, guys.
It's my new look, dog.
Welcome back to Mike on the Platter.
There you go.
We got Guy with us again tonight,
How you doing?
so we
Oh,
can
guy.
have some fun going down the
Wait,
rabbit
the
hole.
royal way.
When was the last time we had a guy here?
Oh, it's been like what?
A
Like,
year?
It was first,
No, it
first
hasn't been
round
that
of
long.
COVID.
Yeah, it was.
it
when
That's how
COVID-
we're gonna calendar things
Yeah,
now.
because when
That
he
was
came by,
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Oh no, COVID.
Actually, it was COVID-18.
Yeah,
That was COVID-19.
COVID-17?
First round.
first round. It was
Yeah.
right after March, right?
Round one, fight, dude. And we've been fighting since, haven't we, people?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So once again, we are Mike on the Platter, Eric Sochin, Jorge Castillo, and we got Guy. You want us to say your last name, Guy? Or do you just want to be the
You don't have
guy?
to. You can make
Hey,
one up if you want to.
I honor my family, and my last name's Huseman.
Guy Huseman. There you go. I wasn't sure if you were worried that maybe they were gonna come kick down my garage door and come get you if you said your last name. So
Oh no.
want to give you the opportunity to keep your aluminum hat on.
There
Where's
you go.
your family from?
Well, my dad is German, hence Huseman, and my mom is Mexican, and so I'm kind of a
You're a
German
mixed guy.
Mexican. I'm a mixed up
Yeah,
person.
kind of like all of us.
All
aren't
of
we?
us. Yeah, we all are.
Yeah, I'm on two sides of the fence. Figure that out.
Dang, dude.
Literally. Wow. I just realized that on a higher level.
So there's
like that.
there's the wall. Like,
No wonder.
So there,
The
no
wall
wonder I
going into
have all this
Mexico,
internal.
there's you have the side of you that breaks down walls, like the
Right.
Berlin Wall, and then you have the side of you that goes under walls.
it's so rad.
Right? Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
Let's give you a little room there.
Yeah.
as
No,
I get
you know what
stuff.
I have? I have balance. I have balance.
There you
do.
go. Hey, okay, so we got to say cheers to everybody. Let's. You guys got your new beers?
Cheers.
You just cracked one, didn't you?
Yep,
Okay,
I did too.
3,
See, like-
2, 1.
Sniffles.
Oh, yeah, and wait.
Yeah, Eric.
Oh,
Cheers.
my gosh.
I
Cheers.
insist. Everybody has to say cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers to you guys. Hope
Cheers.
you got your favorite drink
Cheers.
ready. And cheers. And yeah. Or your favorite, whatever you're going to put in your body.
Spirits.
Okay, tonight it's
What are we drinking?
boat shoes.
Boat shoes, hazy.
Easy. Yeah, y'all.
You know, I had a friend that used to wear boat shoes.
Sperry topsiders.
Yeah.
Those were big.
Oh,
Sperry's
yeah.
in the
And I thought they
90s
were
or
the
80s and
something?
90s.
I thought
80s
they were
and
the
90s,
fanciest
yep.
things, and they looked like shit.
Members only and Sperry topsiders.
That's right. Now, if you wear that
Members
stuff, you
only
just
jacket.
got tons of money and you're a throwback.
He didn't have tons of money.
Now you only wear them
you can look like
if
you
you
have
have a
tons of
big
money.
yacht and
That's
you
right.
have to wear them.
That's right. It's kind of
'cause they're
it's
the
like part of
best.
that culture now.
I don't
Yeah.
even think he had a canoe.
Okay, so I want to say one thing before we get into it tonight, and that is, Guy, two things. One, Guy, we're totally stoked to have you back, dude. Brother,
Hey, right on.
great to have you here. And number two, remember to turn on your notifications so you know when we're doing this and like what we talk about. And if you want to put some comments down there in that little comment thing, we won't say no. And get your friends to subscribe because we're going to have parties here, all right? We're going to have intellectual parties, and we're going to go deep. And I hope you like the screen that I picked out for you guys. Picked it out just for you.
Describe it.
I picked out just for Guy. So this is, well, here it goes. There it goes. It's like a radar, Like we're trying to get little blips on the radar of our life and our
Energy,
consciousness.
the macro.
Yes, in the macro, but with the little trippy twist, right?
Anyway,
Okay.
so Guy, since the last time you were here, how has life been for you?
It's been isolated.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Or
No,
how in your point of view, how are things going as far as a society, country?
well, I mean, for me, I'll answer your first question. I mean, I'm just, I feel blessed that, in terms of my employment and the opportunity that I have to, do what I do, from home as well. So, and I'm just trying to kind of, get through this whole thing that's going down right now, that's being laid down on us. And be healthy and keep my immune system up and exercise and sustain life.
Nice.
So,
Could we
all.
give a little more slack?
Yeah, because I'm going to choke
Yeah, we work on
myself.
that.
I'm going to hang myself right here.
Oh yeah, I see it over there. You might have to pull that.
Or I'm going to pull some equipment off the
Poor guy, he's like choking himself.
table.
Finish the job.
There you go. There's 6 inches for you.
Hey, do you hear that in the background? That's La Via Strangiati from Rush. I'm going to give it just
Right
a
on.
little bit of volume.
Well, don't
I could
don't give
barely
it
hear- I
too
could
much
barely hear it.
because they
How's
got
that?
How's that, guys?
that sounds fine, but then it sounds like the neighbor has the music on too loud. It's a little distracting.
Oh, that's a good one, huh?
Yeah.
We should complain.
Should
Yeah,
I
we
cut
should.
it off?
Yeah, we should complain.
Well, I think you should just lower it.
Back down?
Yeah, back
All right.
down.
Yeah.
I know you really want to listen to your music, Eric.
You can
but-
tell you guys like been together for a while.
Oh yeah, I've known this guy for a
You
while.
guys are almost married now. You're like, yeah.
That's what his wife tells us all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, my
She
God.
thinks we're gay,
Oh, yeah.
and it's
totally.
true, completely true.
Very gay.
Who cares? Hey, you know.
I'd fancy a fag right about now.
Yeah, I'd be really gay if I could have me a fag right about now.
So you know.
All right, so I know you're kind of iffy about the whole COVID topic.
Well, no. Hey, I've always said, I just said I was taking care of myself.
So by taking care
The
of yourself,
numbers,
you
I mean,
mean
the math is a little weird to me, but I mean, hey, look, people are getting sick, and my wife works at emergency. She works at a hospital, so she comes home and tells me what's going on, and then we've got the mutant strains, and like I said, I mean, I was saying earlier that something's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't believe
I get the-
something's out
yeah.
there, there's going to be something else for you out there.
I get
So,
the same thing, from my wife because she's a healthcare professional as well, and it's, there's death out there. There's lots of
Yeah,
death.
absolutely.
It's not like the plague where it's bring out your dead, but it's still kind of it's a little scary when somebody is dead. It's like, oh, well, shit.
Right.
Damn.
But if you
yeah.
kind of want to know what's going on, is you look at shit, because if you're watching the news to try and get your information, your head will spin because they're
I know plenty of
conflicting
people that-
information.
I know somebody
Yeah.
that watches the news every time I come over to their house,
Mm-hmm.
and it drives me insane.
Oh, I
Because
can't
I'm
even
like,
turn it on.
dude. Why do you
Can't
why,
even
why
turn
the-
it on.
What the fuck are we watching the news? We're chilling in your backyard and the news is on. I don't want to hear about so and so or how many people have died or anything. It's just there to put.
Well,
fear
it's
in
all
your-
doomsday stuff.
It's just.
Well, that's
it's all
the
same
worst
shit.
part of it. It's just fodder. A
And
lot
then
of it's just
and
fodder.
then every hour
and you're
they-
getting
they-
one spin on it, not the whole
exactly.
not the
Right.
whole rounded dialogue and perspective. Just here's what happened. Next.
And in other news, more deaths. And in other news,
Right.
someone
right.
else.
It's just funny right now how things are opening up, and but we're not out of the woods yet, and it's kind of hard for me to calculate that in my mind, all that we're not out of the woods yet.
Do you think
kinda
it'll get better?
And then there's some other stuff. If you think we're not out of the woods,
Mm-hmm.
there's some mutant stuff that's in the next couple months going to take over everything.
So you think it'll get worse?
They're telling us it is. Well, it's possibly going to get worse because the mutant strains, the UK and the South African strain, are more contagious, and I think one of them's more deadly. I'm not sure.
So
Shut those places down right now. Right
do
now.
You, do you think
now.
that this whole thing, this whole COVID thing, like Eric said, it's not the Black Plague or anything? Maybe it's blown out of proportion a little bit or a lot.
Well, I looked on the CDC website, and you can look there, and they will tell you that. And I don't know what PICs is in parentheses, but they say that they include PICs, which I think is like influenza and pneumonia, into the COVID count. They say it.
Well, I had somebody tell me that, when someone dies, and that body gets reported, right? It goes to the morgue and they run tests on it, and if this person had COVID but was asymptomatic, right? Is that the word? Or
Yeah.
survived it. It stays in your body, but they
or,
see
or,
it.
or that they cannot say that the person necessarily the reason they died was because of COVID inflammation or any of the complications that come from COVID, but they happen to have it in their system.
Yeah. So that, thank you, Eric. So then they'll say, oh, he died of COVID.
Right.
Well, how genius is this? It's like the invisible enemy, and you could be asymptomatic and still a problem
Yeah.
for everyone else.
Well, do you
Because you'll get everyone else sick. Is that the deal?
No. I'll tell.
What's the asymptomatic thing?
Well, I'll tell you. Let me tell you my story. Can I tell my story?
Tell your story.
Okay. So, my kids both got sick. They both got the COVID. They both tested positive. I went and tested twice during the whole thing, and it never showed up. I did feel off. You know, you could say it was psychological. Maybe
but that's
it wasn't.
normal.
But yeah, I'm off. Period. But
Dude, I'm off.
no, COVID cough, COVID. But so,
my
anyways,
God.
so about for a week there, I was feeling really fatigued and tired and kind of off, and I got tested twice, but nothing. But I also know that they were, they test in your respiratory system. I never developed that, so I don't know if I did have it or didn't have it. Maybe I just didn't fully develop it. Who
We've also
knows?
heard that the tests, the WHO just said a week or two ago that the tests, a lot of there's too many false positives. I mean, I come from printing, and
I read where
Japanese
that is.
trained me, and when you like are, with film and dots and pre-press, they just taught me like when you're developing or creating something, and you have a baseline, and when that baseline is destroyed, then you got to start over, right? So how many baselines have been destroyed on this?
A lot.
Yes.
A lot. And you know what? And the whole on the whole false positive thing. So what I read was, and there's been quite a few people have talked about this. You can have the virus in your respiratory system that's dead or partially dead. You didn't get a full viral load, but it's in your system, but it didn't necessarily take over, but you're testable for it, that it's in your system. And that can create a false positive as well. So,
Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Ches.
But I think it's genius that it's an invisible enemy, and we're just in masks by ourselves out in the wilderness with deer.
Do you think this is just part
I'm
of
gonna make masks for my dogs. I want to do that and
do it.
take a picture and put on Instagram. Me walking my dogs, and my dogs have masks too.
do it?
That'd be
It's
awesome.
fucking funny.
That'd be awesome.
So
Because they're talking. I read a story about dogs and animals transmitting just recently.
yeah, that's what I heard that too. But the funny thing is, I mean, what I think is pretty funny is when you go to Costco, you see everybody wearing their masks, right? So what do they say about kids in COVID? Kids that say under 5 years of age.
That they don't really transmit it.
They don't. Do they?
They're low.
Really?
They're low on the risk scale.
But dogs can. Animals can.
It's rare though. It's rare.
Yeah.
I've seen some
I just think
stories
it's funny
on it.
that everybody's so afraid, and everybody wears their mask 24/7, but yet it's like, oh, I'm not going to put a mask on my 3-year-old because he doesn't like it. But I'll still go to Costco amongst everybody.
I think that's more of a unique demographic there.
Well,
That's
it's
just
even
my
more
opinion.
funny to me
Yeah.
when you bring church into it and they isolate like chanting, singing. I mean, because to me those are things when you have groups of people
Guys
that
on
are,
the anti speaking in the mic mode right now.
that are praying.
There we go, that a boy.
Let me suck this out. That are praying and sending energy out, and they don't want that energy out there. Whatever. But that energy is not conducive to what's going on right now.
Do you think that this is it's just a big scheme as part of the Great Reset?
The Great Reset.
See, I've read that too.
You mean financial? You mean
Yes,
like the-
yes,
Well,
yes, financial.
Because in 1976, there was a big swine flu scare. The government told everybody, hey, there's swine flu coming. It's here. It's going to become a pandemic. It's going to kill millions of people. It scared everybody to a point where millions of people took this vaccine. And thousands of people, negative effects to it. And they were suing the government, for damages. but then it ended up not being anything. But underneath all that, there was a great reset that happened during that whole pandemic scare of the swine flu. It
Yeah.
didn't end up being anything, just blown out of proportion.
What is the
because
Great
there's
Reset?
a secret agenda.
What are they talking
Like a
about? What are they
jubilee.
telling us?
A jubilee.
I think there's multiple things going
So-
on. Metaphysically there's a new age.
Mm-hmm.
There's it's Aquarius, right?
Mhm.
Air, and it's and also, damn it, I was gonna get deep, but
Oh shit! Think about
I'm
it.
not that deep.
Okay, well,
I forgot.
Eric, explain what a jubilee is.
Drinking too much.
When it comes back,
No.
Guy's gonna bring
No.
it back. You just,
I'll bring it back.
You watch. Guy's gonna bring it
I
back.
always envision, I always have like in my mind, I always have a notepad, like, oh, that's a good point. Don't forget that. And then I keep looking at that, but I always forget. Because my mind's pretty crazy. My mind's wandering. Because
oh yeah,
I mean, even like I'm the kind of person where like when my wife and I argue, she's like, it's like, don't spill the beer, and you spilled the beer, and I'm like, but you don't love me, and it's like this. Everything's like this for me.
You're like, what beer?
So
There's no
even
beer in
like
this
when
house.
I look at life and look
There
at
is
things,
no
it's like
beer.
everything's like
There's no beer.
bigger than just like the COVID. It's like, oh, there's not even, that's a bad example, but
Guy, we're running
oh,
with
so
it.
that's what I was getting at.
Yay! Hey, I
Technology,
didn't even have to talk about the jubilee. Go.
the new era, Aquarius, and then the new revolution, technology. And then we have right now in front of our faces, the technocrats that are kind of running the show. And the, Bill Gates is kind of the health minister now.
It's kind of weird.
Merging technology with health.
How is a tech person a health minister?
I don't know, but he
get it.
is.
there's an agenda.
And he's self-taught.
There has to be something.
Okay.
I'm self-taught.
Well,
too, though.
he's a
I think
billionaire
that's an
and he
advantage.
revolutionized things, so let's make him the health minister. That makes perfect sense. If somebody wants to send a comment or something about how that makes sense, please, I'd like to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Help me, help you, help me, help you.
Exactly.
Make sense of this. Okay, please?
Okay, so did Guy explain the Jubilee?
The Jubilee.
No, Guy, I
So-
interrupted you. Finish your thought, and then we'll talk about the Jubilee.
Technocracy. We're headed into, a new era. The Industrial Revolution, the technical revolution.
Revelation.
That's where we're going.
Hyper
I mean, you got
normalization.
guys like the richest man, Elon Musk now, who is putting all the satellites up there so that we can
Starlink.
connect,
Yeah.
5G. And which is cool. We're going to be, faster, bigger, and better on our cell phones and everything. But he also, remember last week, there was news about him. He had a monkey because Neuralink. He
I
also
like
has a
monkeys,
company
too.
He also has a company called Neuralink, and he hooked up a monkey with a little chip, and the monkey played a video game with his mind.
So I'll touch
Oh,
on that.
biotechnology's right
So
around
I'll
the
touch
corner.
on that in case Eric doesn't know.
No, that's AI, dude.
Yeah, so
that's not, that's neural, like, I don't know, that's like merging.
It's biotechnology.
Is
it
it?
is. It's biotechnology.
It's biotechnology.
So,
It's-
Isn't bio
it's
is
interfacing
natural. Oh,
bio
and technology.
and technology
There you go.
combined. Yes.
So what Elon Musk is doing is he was testing it on pigs and rats, and they successfully attached it to a pig, and the computer was connecting to his brain, and he was able to control things, right?
Giving
And I
signals.
guess now they're doing it with chimps. And
Well, it's
They've
only a
been doing
matter
that.
of
becoming
time.
successful.
I mean,
Like,
look
to a
at.
point where you can control it, devices.
I'm sure.
and-
I'm sure.
and-
Well, that's how extraterrestrials pilot their ships, right? It's with touch and thought, and in a way that we can't even relate to because they have mastered the interface in the electrical pulse interfacing of our neurological brain
without a chip.
without a chip. That it's sensitive, almost like like right now the really crude, rude, fundamental example of that is touch technology on our touchscreens. Okay, so it's reading energy from your fingers, right? Electromagnetic, static, whatever from your fingers. Well, it's only a matter of time because your brain is constantly generating firings and electrical
Humans are batteries.
impulse were batteries. So eventually, it's only logical that we're going to be able to connect the dots to make all of the different frequencies that are firing in our brains and the pulses and the blips and the this and that and the other, and to actually be readable and interpretable and translate into something mechanical. It's only a matter of minutes, really, seconds, really, before
Wow.
this actually becomes live. Oh, it just happened. It's live now. See, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was confused for a second. I'm like, what's
I'm-
live?
yeah.
We're live? We've been live.
I'm joking. The
Yeah,
point
I know.
being is, I'm saying it's probably already out there.
What is? I'm only kidding.
I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about, guy.
I
okay,
left
okay,
for,
okay,
I left
so-
for a little while.
So, I was telling Eric last week, or 2 weeks ago, about the Israeli space chief,
Talking
whatever.
about Trump.
Trump and Mars. So the Israeli space chief, has been working in Israel, doing that shit, doing his thing for 30 plus years. Now that he's retired, he came out and he said, hey, I'm leaking this information because I have nothing to lose. I'm, 80 something years old. It's done. I'm letting you guys know. You do what you want with it. So he said that Trump knew about this information and he knew the existence of aliens, which is why he created the Space Force. And he was going to expose the aliens, but the aliens intervened and said, hey, humanity's not ready for that. So he backed out of that. But he said,
Don't
that,
mess with the cockroaches.
yeah. So he said that the United States and Israel have had this treaty with an intergalactic race, and they've come to a deal, and some of them live on Mars. They travel great distances from other universes, other planets, whatever, galaxies, whatever you want to call it, and and there is life on Mars, and they have an underground base on Mars, which is why Elon Musk wants to get to Mars, because he wants to start populating people.
Well,
there.
everyone's talking about Mars and the moon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And Moon acting.
You know,
as
it's a
like
trip though, but you're talking about like aliens. What's an alien? I mean, if you look at like
Non-human.
history,
At this point, it's non-human.
Gnostics, like
Primate.
Sumerians,
What if they are primate?
Well,
Like,
not of. Actually, that's a good question, guy.
yeah. What if they?
what are aliens?
Yeah.
Are okay? So that is a good question, because when you look at history, like the Sumerians, and they talk about the Anunnaki, and they're
Anunnaki
from
from
another world.
Nibiru
They're
or
from the universe
wherever.
someplace. Egyptians, I believe, they think they're
Sumerians.
from Orion.
Remember Stargate? That was such an awesome movie, and then the show was all right.
I mean, a lot of
A B version of the A movie.
stories are from outside of this universe.
Of course.
So,
And depictions. In
what
ancient-
is an alien, though? Because then you have all these other religious stories and shaman stories about interdimensionals and things like that. And so, are they like really traveling in a spaceship, like through space, through the
You know what?
universe, or are they
Actually, you're bringing up an awesome point there. And there's a movie that came out in the '80s called Dune, which talked about space travel, folding space, traveling without moving. And Sting was in that from the
Wormholes
police, not wormholes, but there's these beings that would use this spice that they mined on this planet called Arrakis. They would mine this spice, and the spice was used by these they weren't mentats. They were there was another name for them. They were the beings that could fold space, and they would use the spice as the fuel to power their brains to fold space. So basically, you would line up all your ships and all that stuff in one section of space, and then these beings would go into these chambers and use the spice, and they would do their thing, and they'd fold space, and you would appear in another side of the galaxy.
They were making them.
Was it
I
Old
know.
Spice?
They're
They all
rem-
smell good, I bet. Old Spice.
Yeah, right. They're remaking the movie Dune, and I saw the previews for it. And the guy who played in Guardians of the Galaxy, who's the really big dude?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, I just saw that the
Yes,
other day.
him. He plays Vladimir Harkonnen, which is like the nemesis, evil, the Harkonnens, the Harkonnen family, and which makes me super excited to see it. But I'll bet that they're going to go into depth about folding space on this new Dune movie. It's
think so?
the original one. A lot of people didn't get it. They didn't understand it. But those who got it were like, this is the best fucking movie ever made. Best sci-fi, right up there with Blade Runner. But now they're coming out with this new one, and I'm a huge Dune fan, and I'm like any other nerd who's like, let's see if it passes the test, you know? And I saw the previews for it, and I'm like, okay, I think they're doing it some service, because they've done some versions of Dune that were like, but this one looks pretty damn good. And if they get into the whole folding space thing, I think that is what is going on here with these interdimensional beings. They're not traveling the way we think of traveling, like trying to get from A to B, but actually, how do you manipulate the time reality fabric?
That's one of the reasons why supposedly the aliens did not want Trump to leak that information, because they don't feel like humanity is ready to understand what their spaceships can do, and what traveling through space really is.
And also the whole time parallax issue.
Yeah, it's like according to him, he said completely no. It just wouldn't
beyond our understanding.
Beyond their
the thing about it is life is about a lot of preconceptions, right? We're taught, and like everything's like embedded in our mind. To change all that, because I think that things are a lot different than what we think they are.
I think so too.
And to continue with this alien interdimensional being, like that book I was telling you about earlier, the Manly P. Hall book about the unforeseen entities, or I forget the title of it, but they're calling them elementals. Mm-hmm. So elements, the elementals, or interdimensionals. These are things that are happening in our world right now that we can't see, and it's different dimensions or frequencies, vibrations that we're not in tune to, that we can't see. And they're happening right now all around us.
We're not, we haven't tuned into it yet.
I
think some people have.
We're not sure what these things look like either. Maybe they look like those hieroglyphics that we see. Maybe somewhere, on the caves and stuff.
How do you think about this? I sent this to Eric not too long ago. It was an article that said that the U.S. Navy has patents on tech, and it says that it will engineer the fabric of reality.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what we're talking about,
dude.
So, are they not preparing
the Matrix? The government is working on on a Matrix right now, like a whole world, and we don't even. What if we're in it right now? What if this is
we
it?
talked about that in one of our earlier podcasts, didn't we?
If we're in
and
it,
like I
would
said,
you take the blue or the red pill?
Pull it up.
Right.
What?
You're gonna pull up.
Oh no. I'm just looking through shit.
And why do we take for granted the red and the blue pill? The colors red and blue.
Because
they're so significant. Like it's energy. It's positive. It's negative. It's hot. It's cold. Mm-hmm. It's male. It's female. Mm-hmm. I mean, so colors are really more meaningful than we've been taught.
Yeah. Well, that if you look,
I'm kind of sidetracked.
No, you're not,
from
because we're visible spectrum beings. Mm-hmm. Visible spectrum. So like when you look at a prism, and can you pull up a prism? So when you look at a prism, like, and how a prism bends light,
Isaac Newton.
Okay, we're talking about visible light.
The primary colors.
Right. So we are beings of visible light, meaning that our depth of perception and existence, safe existence, exists in visible light. As soon as we start to get on too much into the purple, into the ultraviolet, or too much in the red, into the infrared, and those light frequencies on either side, too much of it, and we start to, we're out of our spectrum of existence, and it's too much for us. We get burned, we get heated up, whatever the case may be, because we are confined as human beings into that spectrum. That doesn't mean that we could possibly think or experience outside of them, but in our limited construct as a human being, that's what we get to experience. So, if you study,
you made me think of something.
You study, you got it?
Yeah. Look at that.
Okay.
You made me think of something.
Okay, so there it is. That's us. That's human beings right there. This is what we experience on the electromagnetic visible light spectrum right here. This is it. That's us. Okay? Anything too far to the right of that red or too far to the left down into that purple, we get burned. Okay?
Well, you know what the too far to up and down or variations of the color is just a, it's like, music. How many, there's 7 primary colors, there's 7 tones, right?
Yeah, there's 7 tones, yes.
Okay, so when you get into that 8th tone, it's like an A1, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a variation of the A, so it's like it's the same vibration.
They're called octaves.
Yeah.
Octaves.
I mean, I'm not a musician.
I'm a musician. It's octaves. It repeats itself.
Excuse me.
I'm a ditch digger.
I don't know what you're saying
terms of
there,
my
but it
mental
sure
capacity.
does
Well,
make a
you're
lot of
gonna have
sense.
to explain that in layman terms.
That's right.
Octaves, it's a repetitive value.
Have you seen that movie Philadelphia?
With Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks and Denzel. When Denzel's a lawyer and he's like, explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Denzel, he's good.
I'm going to try to.
Explain it to me like I am 5 years old.
Well, in musical theory, notes they've been assigned alphas, but they're frequencies, and they're frequencies that repeat themselves. So it's a harmonic resonance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like when you play music to plants.
yes. So the
They
resonance
do what better?
repeats itself
you talk to 'em.
every
Talk to 'em.
seventh after every
You're
seventh
so cute. God
frequency. It repeats itself.
damn it. Look at it. It's getting happy.
There you go. You just
My girlfriend
You're
has a
so
shit ton of
gorgeous.
plants in the apartment. And,
okay. I lost these guys. They don't really want to hear this, anyways.
But you were
So-
well, we don't because we know. But what about the audience? Explain it to them.
It's well, you have to study electromagnetic spectrum. You have to study light spectrum. You have to study
For what?
sound waves to see how it's all connected. Because everything's a wave phenomenon.
I don't want to be a
Every
scientist. I
frequency-
just want to be
Everything has
like
its own
a
frequency.
spiritual.
every
What
frequency
if you're just looking
has
for
a color,
spirituality?
has a sound, has a wavelength.
Do you think I'm hot pink, Eric? You think I'm just special like
I
that?
think you're just the gorgeous purple color.
I think there is there's an
Is that why you have the
education
purple on me?
for someone to kind of, what are we all looking for in life? I mean, we're looking to figure out our origin, like who we are.
Oh, that
Right,
sounds like the perfect segue to the movie Soul.
Oh yeah, that's right. We talked about
Oh my
talking about that.
God,
Okay.
Guy, thank you.
Do you, have,
Excuse
do, you, do you have any visuals on Soul? I mean, we could probably show it. Like,
Wait, hold on.
really
Let Guy finish
fast.
what he was going to say.
Go ahead. I know, but yeah, go, Guy.
What's that?
Look it up while he talks about it.
It talks about soul.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know anything about Soul.
Oh, right before we said, oh,
I just said
finding your
Finding your yes.
Finding my
Everybody just wants to-
kind of find their their spiritual self, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a journey. It's a lifelong journey, and it gets more intense when you get older, and that's sad. I mean,
You
that's
realize
why
that you're gonna have to give
I'm
back
kind
your
of looking
bag
at
of
the things
molecules,
that I'm looking at, and
right?
I'm looking to scale down, be minimalist, and kind of I'm learning that the ego is like your biggest enemy.
Yeah.
Totally.
So and it's
You
everywhere.
hear that,
It's
Mike
everywhere.
Kirby?
There's some guys at work that could benefit from that lesson.
Yeah. Chris Christensen. Yeah.
hey, easy,
Mike Kirby.
easy. Oh God.
But you have to be a successful salesperson. You have to have an ego.
You have
Oh,
to be
it's-
extremely
it's-
confident.
That's
and
why I'm not as
those guys are
successful
cool.
as they are, because I don't have a big ego like
Especially
that. I mean,
Chris Christensen.
well, I'm a humble person. I don't even want to mention ego. I'm just a humble person.
That's good.
Hey Chris, do you
How
want
about I don't
George's
have
address? I'll give you
self-confidence.
George's address so you can come get him. Say,
What's
what
that?
motherfucker?
I'll come find him. I know where he works.
Oh my God! Look at you.
Anyway.
George is fired up.
He's
So-
an
so-
angry
so-
Latin
so-
guy.
so do you think-
He is.
And I don't want to say Mexican
No,
because you can't say that
I'm not an
anymore.
angry liar.
I'll
'Cause he's
say it.
probably,
It's
He's
just-
an
he's
angry
probably
Mexican.
Guatemalan or something.
Chris is a
No.
great guy and he means well and he's super cool and I love the guy. But I mean, I hear a lot of people who say, "Oh, you don't want to fuck with that guy." Man, I don't give a fuck.
Well, he knows kung fu.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Hey, you know what? George is not any of those that you just described. He's actually Samoan.
I'm part Samoan
He's
and
a
Irish.
Maori.
Are you?
He's Maori.
You're part
Dude,
Samoan?
You don't
okay.
see the red hairs
Hold on. Okay, George, you have to
you're
do
not
me
a
a
big guy.
favor. You
You're
have to
not
do
like
me a
a-
favor.
I'm not super big.
You're
Pull
not
up
a killer.
pull
No,
up
I'm not a
a
killer.
face of a Maori warrior, please. You have to do that.
Eric,
Okay.
I don't look
Are you
like
really
them.
part
Yes,
Samoan?
you do,
No,
dude.
I'm not.
You
He
do.
says that I am, but I'm not.
I think he comes from deep Central South
Well,
America, like deep way
You're too
back.
small for
The-
Samoan, dude.
and-
Exactly.
And those
exactly.
people came from
Look at
Tonga and Samoa in
Tongas.
boats over
the
to
Maori.
the South American
the
coastline.
The
and
funny
populated.
thing is, well, I'm 5'11". I'm not 6'3". I'm not 300 pounds, a big guy. I don't, whatever. But I even started a T-shirt company that was Samoan, themed. And so even with that,
his
Eric was
true
like,
genes are coming out.
yeah. Eric was like, dude, it's because you're
What do you
Samoans.
mean Samoan?
I
themed?
found this
Was it
picture
more
online
tattoo
of the
themed?
Samoan
Well,
dude who looks exactly like a Maori dude.
How do
A
you
New
be
Zealander,
Samoan
New
themed?
Zealander actually
So
looked like this guy.
I came across I became friends with a guy, an older dude, and just out of serendipitous, right? And he was a big, he's like, this dude's older. He was about,
That sounds pretty goopy.
yeah. So hold on, I'm trying to remember. So
Oh, you're like me. It's contagious.
Yeah,
Let me
so-
touch you.
I still like you.
hold on, give me 1 second. Okay,
Right.
so
How old
his
are
name.
you?
I'm 30. I just turned
Ooh,
30.
you're half my age.
Really?
You're
You're
forgetting
60?
shit already. Ooh.
Oh, I know. I have a really. Oh, I don't have a
Yeah.
bad memory. It's just my mind works. Eric, don't.
That's my excuse. That's what I said.
No. And I'm dead serious. Even at work,
I'm only kidding.
everybody.
Sorry, I meant to turn it off and I turned it up by
Yeah.
accident for just a second.
So, everybody at work is like expecting me to like learn everything quick, and I do, and I am. But
That's the
you know,
Maori in
my,
you.
my mind is working so quick and so fast. I'm thinking, of 10 things all at once, and it's hard for me to focus sometimes. And I guess it could be ADD or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but it's just I'll start forgetting things, or I'll pay attention and then I zone out, or I'll understand something and then I'll forget it a second later, but then I'll remember it 10 minutes ago or 10 minutes later. It's just weird. That's how my mind works.
That's a sign of genius.
Anyway.
I thought
So-
you were a time traveler there for a minute.
Oh yeah,
That too.
Yeah, that too.
It's all connected. It's all connected. You're gonna see.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
we're gonna bring this. We're gonna wrap it all up.
Oh, what were we talking about?
Hey, let me see the
Does it
phone
even
with
matter?
the.
Oh no! I'll show it. Just put it on there. The Samoan thing, right? That's what you want to show.
Yeah, show the Maori
I
warriors.
guess I'll just put Samoan guy. Maybe somebody will.
No,
come up.
Maori warrior. Okay,
It doesn't
dude,
have
What's
to
it-
be
what's it
Hey,
called?
that first dude. All right,
A
first
Disney
dude. There
character
you
come
go,
up.
Fucking look like him.
dude. It's you, man. It's you, dude. It looks like you. Okay, keep scrolling. There's a
That
there's
dude
a
looks
look
like the
there.
fucking Rock.
That is the Rock, motherfucker.
No, it's not. You idiot.
yes, it
No,
is.
it's not. That's not the Rock. I don't know
This-
who the fuck. It's like a
Rock
when
enough for me,
No, this
man.
is the Rock from Wish.com.
Is that the mail order
Oh,
Rock?
look, this dude's a chief. The only way you can get these tattoos, and they're legitimate too, is if you become a chief.
Really?
And after they tattoo you with a shark's tooth, you have to walk out into the ocean.
So
and
so it scars it.
so it scars it, and then also if you get an infection and you survive it, then you're really fit to become a chief of a.
That's right.
It looks
If
like
you die, then you were never fit.
It looks
to
like his belly did
Yeah.
get the
But
infection.
if
and
this
he
guy
survived.
just happened to get all these tattoos and he walks into a Tonga or some Samoan country or village and they see all this shit on him, they'll kill him because he's impersonating a chief.
Oh yeah, that'd be it.
It's not good.
Well, how do you know? he's
Zoom
not
in.
a
Wait,
chief?
go back. Zoom in on that guy. Zoom in on his face. I'm telling you, man. There's
I don't
a
have
look
that
there.
nose.
You don't, but there was a guy in one of those pictures some time ago where I was just like, oh my god, that's freaking George, dude.
That's my body. They just photoshopped that guy's face on there.
That's right. That's right.
How long are we gonna look at men?
Oh yeah. Oh, see, that's the Rock. Anyway, can we get back to what I was saying?
About Simone.
It's not important.
So the movie Soul.
Oh,
Let's get back.
Okay,
to
let's
that.
get back to
Jesus Christ.
this.
holy moly!
Cheese and rice,
Is
motherfucker.
it hot in here?
Oh, so, all those man pictures. I swear it's raining men. Okay. So I saw the movie recently with my kids. My kids were like, I'm like, you guys, this looks like it's pretty good. I know there's this little voice in the back of my head that was like, you gotta watch it. Someone told you to watch it.
Yeah, I did.
A long time ago, and I forgot. But I knew there's a little voice in the back of my head. But now I remember you telling me I need to see it. So I'm like, come on, kids. And my wife's like, and the kids are like, Like,
the
look,
truth
guys,
is,
let's
the kids were like, "Oh, the main character is black. I don't want to watch that."
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So anyway, so we decided to watch it, and it was just such a freaking awesome, heartfelt movie. I really, really enjoyed
Did
it.
you
And
cry?
I'm so glad you
Oh, man.
recommended it.
Dude,
It is
when my
so well written.
Did you cry?
It's ridiculous.
I almost did. I mean, I didn't cry, but you definitely get like choked up.
You're
you know?
such a pussy.
And that's okay. Men get choked up.
I
Oh,
I
but
get
when
choked
I-
up all the
everyone
Dude, I'm
cries
just,
over
I'm
movies
just
and
like,
stuff.
When I first
I'm
heard
trying
about
to
the
hide
movie,
my sensitive side.
I
right
heard
now.
it from
A movie wouldn't be a movie if it didn't
Exactly,
take you
yeah,
through
It's,
so
it's
much.
gotta-
supposed
it's
to
gotta
do
hit
that. I
those-
know,
yeah,
exactly.
It's like music.
Why are you calling me a pussy, dude?
Yeah.
I didn't say that, did I? What the fuck? So when I first heard it from somebody who I won't mention.
Now think about that. How someone can make you cry.
What about it?
Because we got to keep on. Saul, where are we going? Disney? Were we promoting Pixar? Are
No,
we
we're
talking
not.
about
So going back to the making you cry.
making?
is
But
some
they're making you
significance
cry.
to it? Okay. So.
Manipulation, dude.
That's one of your
Well,
clients,
yeah.
man.
But I mean,
Tugging on your
there's a
heartstrings.
good message behind it.
There's
So
a
it's okay
really
to
good
What
it's
was the
okay to
good
make you cry.
message? What was the message?
Well,
You have to decide. Hold on. You have to decide if the universe is a good place or an evil place. What do you want it to be?
The universe is what you. The universe is a good place.
Perfect. Okay.
universe-
Now we can move on to Disney.
Now, but you're talking about the
Pixar.
universe.
slash this.
I mean, if you're talking about like isolated like islands on the universe, those could be bad.
Okay, but I guess what I'm trying to say here is, okay, maybe so you see some evil interjection in Hollywood and in all these different layers in the strata, but what I'm trying to say is, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Ooh,
There's some good stuff in there.
I've heard that before.
You have to take. You
The
have
good
to
with the
accept.
bad.
It's like
Oh, hey, dude,
there's
there's
people
something to
who-
be learned, and you know, there's lessons learned on every experience.
There are people
Good
who
or
have
bad.
inspired you in your life who have done beautiful, amazing things that have a dark skeleton in their closet that you don't know about. And that is just life. So talk about soul.
So in the movie, this guy, he's trying to find a purpose in life, and musician, and he's a school teacher. He's trying to find a purpose, a meaning, right? And he catches his first gig. Now I won't spoil it for everybody there. What happens?
Oh,
but
spoiler alert.
Eventually, yeah, spoiler alert. Eventually, he ends up dying, and he goes into the great beyond, which is, Pixar's interpretation of the great beyond was fucking perfect.
It was neat.
Because it was neat, because the beings that controlled that whole plane,
that plane of existence.
It-
Very
it-
well
it was-
said. I
it
like
was-
that. I
it
like how
was-
you said it that
yeah,
way.
that whole plane was just like, so fucking well thought of, dude, and it was perfect. These guys are on
I've never
level
seen
of
this movie
creativity, but
before, but you're
dude,
Are you getting inspired,
yeah,
guy?
So
Come on, guy.
So to me, what I took from that movie was, you don't necessarily need to have a soulmate. You don't need to have a purpose. It's the ride, the journey. That's what it's all about. It doesn't matter where you're going, where you're going to be, who you're trying hard to be, whatever. It's just, who you're going through it with, that journey, finding happiness in that journey, because that's what it's all about. When you're dead, who knows where you'll end up, whether you're reincarnated or you're just floating around, walking around through an empty space, whatever. It's life. Like you have to enjoy it, every second of it, from the leaves falling in fall to the snow falling in winter, the hottest summers. It doesn't matter. You can't let anything get you down, because that's just a part of it. And this movie gets that message across really well. And it's more suited. I mean, kids who are in high school will understand it. Maybe little kids won't really like it. It's got a lot of adult humor in it, and the message and the whole story behind it, the art and the conceptualism. All of that is very mature. But, dude,
It was deep.
it was deep.
It was very deep.
It's like, I think
It
it's
sounds
one of
about
the
like
best
the
movies
stuff
ever
we're talking
made.
about right now.
Exactly.
Dude, it made you
It made you really think, like, fuck,
really think.
I'm going to enjoy the now.
Yeah.
Because there
I'm
might
gonna
not be
quit
tomorrow.
sounding like a whiny little bitch.
And you just can't. You just have to. I mean, fuck. Whatever people are going through out there, it could be worse. And you have to find
Well,
just like
we don't
what
want to
Eric
say
said.
that cliche, because that cliche is
Well,
kind of insensitive. I mean,
Okay.
it could be
well,
worse. I
well
hate that
then,
fucking
whatever you're
cliche.
going through, you got to look at it the way Einstein did.
Okay.
How's that?
You know. Oh, choose what the universe. You know, is it a good place or a bad?
Now,
you
if
know,
I was if I was
balance
if
it.
I was watching my whole family get raped and murdered in front of me in some tribe in warring tribe in Africa, or if I was getting
In
tortured
a
by a
Pixar movie?
cartel, or if I was
That'd be
in
cool.
in Auschwitz watching my family getting baked in ovens and gassed and bodies put into a mass grave, maybe I couldn't quite have this perspective of, hey, enjoy the moment that you're in. I mean, this is like, how the fuck do I
We're
survive
fat
this
cats.
shit?
We're fat cats.
But I don't know. How did some of those people survive when they went through all of those atrocities? How did they survive? How did they get through it? What did they bring? What did they bring into their soul and into
look
their
at the
mind
last.
to
Look
get
at the
through
last.
it?
Like, what was the last big thing we had? Like,
It's a little
you
bit
know,
of this.
the Civil War. The Civil War, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the biggest thing we just had was the insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking pieces. It's a piece of sand. It's a granule.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're pussies compared to fucking the Civil War, dude. Give me a break. Is this it?
This is nothing.
This is
no.
it? The insurrection?
We don't know
This is
pain.
nothing.
I
We
mean,
don't
I'm
know
not a
pain.
Trumper,
We don't
but
know
is this
anything.
it? I mean, really,
Yeah.
what we're doing is we're kind of, destroying a whole political party. I mean, conservative party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe that both parties really do need to be there. They keep each other in check and balance because both, if you get extremely liberal or you get extremely conservative, they're both extremes. One's radical, one's reactionary, right? And both viewpoints need to be there to counterbalance each other, kind of like a man and a woman. You know, there's a balance.
I think they're
There.
two sides of the same coin.
There's an arrow pointing up and an arrow pointing down.
That's the laws.
Can
Those
we-
are the laws there.
1 second.
The
Anyways,
laws of energy, but
balance is important.
we're being manipulated with the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, for now, the pendulum
For
swings.
now.
The pendulum swings.
For now. Look at Joe. Oh, Joe was like, in his basement like we are right now a few months ago, and he was like, well, talking like he didn't know, talking like me. And now he's like running the fucking world.
Joe Rogan.
No, Joe.
Oh, Joe Biden.
You're president.
Oh, President-elect Joe Biden.
Yeah. President-elect.
No, it's just
Dude.
funny because that's what I heard constantly on the news.
Oh,
prior to his
no.
inauguration.
He's the real deal now.
President-elect
He's
Joe Biden.
president.
President-elect Joe Biden.
He's our
It's
president.
just funny how they,
Everybody's
And-
still calling him that? Why?
No, they're not
he's-
calling him that
He's
anymore,
laying
but-
down. He's laying down shit
it's
right
just,
now.
It's just funny. They couldn't just say Joe Biden. Like
And
they
I-
didn't know he was, president-elect.
Why aren't
Well, I
people
think
asking
they're
President
trying to
Joe
be
Biden.
sensitive of the haters out there that we're trying to.
President-elect Joe Biden. It's like they were fucking drilling it in my head. President-elect Joe Biden.
Well, now that it's in your head, you can let it go.
That's right.
Yes, I'm letting it free.
You need to let
See,
it go. You
let
need
the
to let it
programming
go.
go.
You
Let
need
the
to let it
programming
go.
go.
Hey, do you think with the right vibration or acoustic, you could destroy someone's cells?
Yes.
Of
With
course.
vibration,
Yeah.
frequency.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With the right
Yeah.
frequency, just completely obliterate somebody
Absolutely.
and turn him into like mush.
They have weapons like that.
They have
The
yeah,
government
absolutely.
has weapons.
Touch on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody's body vibrates on certain frequencies, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have a dissonant resonance. Is it a dissonant resonance?
I don't know about that word, but
Anyways, what you're trying to do is you're trying to there's a sine, and then there's a cosine, and the cosine would eliminate the sine. I think is the math. I'm not 100% sure on that.
What are you
Maybe
talking
maybe pull
about?
that up. Look up sine eliminating cosine. Okay.
Sign eliminating.
what are you talking about though?
Because
the
everything is energy
vibrations?
and frequency and vibrations. Yes. So if your body is vibrating on a certain frequency,
7.83.
7.83.
That's where we're supposed
what,
to be
megahertz?
vibrating
Look at
with
first,
the Earth.
How to remove your name from a co-signed loan.
from the Earth naturally vibrates at 7.83, and we actually vibrate the same
So-
resonance as the Earth.
So there's
Okay, I need to find. What else can I look at? Because it's just showing me.
frequency cancellation.
Earth resonance, Schumann resonance,
Frequency cancellation.
Schumann resonance.
Fucking Google frequency
for it.
canvas.
Well, human beings weren't meant to articulate complicated words with their thumbs.
Exactly.
So, I would imagine that there has
Talking-
to be a weapon that has the ability to emit a frequency that counterbalances our natural resonant frequency and that makes up
Okay,
ourselves.
here's the gist of it. Phase cancellation is an acoustic phenomenon in which two or more out-of-phase sound waves result in weakened or lost frequencies. When two identical frequencies are cycling at 180 degrees opposite each other, complete phase
That's sine and
cancellation
cosine
occurs.
right there. Yeah, I believe that's sine and cosine right
This?
there. Yes.
Hey, so
Right there.
that's what I put in our logo.
So what
Mike
does that
on a
mean?
platter.
We're
oh
talking
my
layman.
God, it's like a smart low key. I just don't know it.
What does that mean? How does that apply to
like I'm
what
a
we're talking
genius.
about? Me no understand.
This, I believe, right here, what we're looking at is how the government can develop a technology that zaps human beings and eliminates whatever they want. Tonight at 11.
So, you know the whole like.
Did
little,
you know
What?
that 9/11? They measure the
I'm going to leave the
Earth's-
view up there for those that really care.
Earth's resonance. And on 9/11, because everybody together was connected on 9/11, the
There it is.
resonance was off the hook. So our energy together is meaningful.
So look up sine, cosine. Sine and cosine
I
real
don't know what
quick.
you guys are talking about here.
They're gonna do.
You
it's
guys are
gonna pull up
losing
the same
people.
thing.
We're talking quantum physics.
Exactly
or
what you see
shit,
right there.
man.
Yes, yes.
So then,
But
so-
we've already.
so-
Hold on. Guy, we already talked about this earlier tonight. Everything is a waveform,
in energy.
an energy, a waveform, or a particle phenomenon, or both, right?
I was just
all
watching,
matter, everything is a waveform
like when they
of
put
some
the
sort.
little wall with the two slits in it, and they put
Oh my God!
what is that?
What is that called?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and it forms a different pattern of light, and it
yeah.
gives you it's like
it's
following
it's
the
the
frequency of
electromagnetic
molecules.
signature. The
Sure.
spectral signature. Spectral signature.
Who knows,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Look up spectral signature.
I think we're talking about matter because if you put like light
but
through those
matter
little
is
holes, then they're going to
energy.
go like
But
this.
matter is energy.
But if you put something more dense, it's going to not spread like that. So we're talking about the density of
Spectral
matter.
what?
I don't know.
You can even look up spectral analysis or spectral signature. Spectral analysis or spectral signature.
Man, it's hard to do this shit. It's horizontal.
We should have that music. Ding dong, ding dong. That game show music. Ding, dong.
Oh, from Jeopardy.
Yep.
Okay, so every single element in the periodic chart has a unique signature, right?
As do we.
As do we, because we are made up of all those elements. They're all waveforms. They're all spectral.
They're all vibrating.
Yeah, they're all vibrating.
Look at the spectral signature of soil. Soil.
Well, it depends on what's in the soil.
Exactly.
Percentage of iron, percentage of copper, percentage of other carbon, silicon, oxygen combinations.
Do you think they'll be able to tell your health, in the future just by testing your acoustics?
Yes.
It's like, here, touch here, and it's like,
They're
You're-
already, they're
you're-
already
gonna
working
die
on
in 2
that.
days.
You're a slight octave out of frequency. We need to put you in our resonance chamber and get you back to normal.
Yeah, pull your
They're,
pants down.
they're already,
Put your
they're already
pants
working
down.
on that kind of technology.
Insert.
Dude,
That
that's so rad.
technology is already being worked on.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
They have, I don't know a lot about it, but they have hydrogels that have things that can, that can penetrate and disperse into your body, like this nanotechnology. And this nanotechnology has operating systems, and it's programmed to go and reside at a location, and it's activated whenever it's activated. And I don't know how it's activated. I mean, whether it's like frequency, whether 5G has to do anything with this.
That sounds like what's in the
Or
COVID
what?
vaccine, so don't get it. Just kidding. Do what you
well,
want.
the COVID vaccine,
It's
I
up
mean,
to you.
I mean, we're all just laymen like idiots here. But if you like do the research, the COVID vaccine isn't a normal vaccine.
It's an
It's
RNA.
a new vaccine. It's an RNA. It's an operating system.
Yeah, it basically programs. What it does is pull up a RNA vaccine. Okay, so what it does is it codes cells. You inject it in, and these cells that get injected in code your cells to do something.
That's what RNA does.
Right.
That's what an
In the body,
RNA
naturally.
vaccine.
So what
yeah.
you're doing is you're GMOing your human body.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Those people, I'm not going to eat a GMO vegetable, but give me the vaccine.
Yeah, you've been doing it ever since you've been drinking Diet Coke.
And you know what? Maybe we're going
Right.
to all have to take the vaccine
so
at some
don't worry
point.
about it.
At some point, we're going to have to take the vaccine.
Can I take
They're
my
creating.
Diet Coke
This
with
is
a
like the
spritzer?
stock market right
Take
now.
that vaccine.
They're creating a supply and demand fucking scenario right now. Like, we don't have enough. And everyone's going to be like, shit, then, but wait a minute, the mutant fucking strain's coming.
So maybe that's
I need the vaccine. So then the vaccine, oh yeah, we got it. We got enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all got it. And pretty soon they're fucking, here we are. We're fucking.
I'll tell you what.
A lot
I
of
got
us
this
aren't going to be
smart
able to make
idea.
that. Well, we won't make it.
Let me tell you how we're gonna make $10 trillion. You ready for this? Okay, we introduce a virus. We come up with a
Spread
vaccine.
fear.
We spread fear. We control the market. And next thing you know, your pockets are fat.
I just saw an interview with Bill Gates saying that it's just disheartening that people think the conspiracies on the internet about him and Fauci, being in this to profit and to control and blah blah blah. But I mean, whatever. I mean, who knows anymore?
Yeah,
Who can believe anything anymore?
exactly.
This is where we are right here. On this blip right here. Hold on, where is it? Here it comes.
There you go.
Boom. Boom. That little dot that just went flying over there.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it.
So,
I think we've all
We're on
should
our
have learned
own-
something this last 4 years.
radar.
Is that there's a lot of BS out there,
Mm-hmm.
and the sky's blue, and they're gonna fucking do everything they can tell you to tell you it's green,
Okay.
and a lot of people will believe it's green.
What for?
At the end of the day?
What's the goal?
Why? Because what's the goal? Because it's part of the narrative.
Okay.
Because it's
The
all part of the Green Deal at the end.
narrative.
I just made that up, and it was a segue, but because it's all part of the Green Deal. I mean, they're going to tell you the sky's green, and you're going, wait a minute, it's fucking blue, but boom, boom, it's green.
No, it's not, it's green.
It's green, and then pretty soon, fuck, it is green. Remember what movie was that when they were saying
No, we're not polluting the oceans.
when they were saying how
No,
much
no,
is
you didn't see that.
what movie was that when he was going how much is 2 plus 2? Oh no, that was George Orwell's 1984 when they were going how much is 2 plus 2? It's 4. No, it's 5.
Oh, and they kept torturing him until he
And then pretty soon it's
did it.
5. It's 5. That's
They-
what
they-
we're
yeah,
going to
they-
be doing
They did that in Star Trek: The Next
in about
Generation.
5 years.
They torture Picard for like.
We're in a Depop
Days.
right now. There's a site. What's it called?
Wait! Before you go there, I want to tell a funny story. So this is a Motley Crue story, okay, and it pertains to this. Trust me. So Vince Neil is out on his jet ski, and he's got some hot babe on the back that he's banging, I'm sure, and his wife shows up, and she's out on the shore, and she sees him with this hot chick on the back, and she's just like crossing her arms, like, what the fuck? And he looks over at the shore. He fucking throws the chick off the back of the jet ski as he's going like 20, 30 knots, right? Just fucking
Which
cruising
is
along.
how fast in miles per hour.
Yeah, it's about the same. So, and then he cruises to the shore, and he sees his wife. Hey, babe, how's it going? What the fuck? Who was that girl in the back? What are you talking about? I saw a girl on the back of your jet ski. Well, there's no girl on the. What are you talking about? Oh, I could have swore I saw a girl in the back. No, that wasn't me. Well, just no. What are you talking about? It's just me. Look, here I am. It's just me. Oh, okay.
Dude,
And she's like, wait, but what about? No, babe, let's go to the room.
you know what that reminded me of
right.
really quick? I was a big Howard Stern fan, and back, God, this was years ago.
So it is green sky. You're
Who's
right.
that basketball player, Rod? Newport
Dennis
guy.
Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
He was on, and he was with who was that hot little chick that he was with? The Carmen Electra, right?
Okay.
And he was telling a story about how he was with a chick in his bed, and she came in, popped in, and goes, "What the fuck's going on here?" And he's going, "What?" She's going, "The chick," and he's going, "What?" "I don't know what you're talking about." He denied the whole. He said, "I denied the whole thing right there."
It's like that.
I didn't even-
It's like that Shaggy song. It wasn't me.
Dude.
Yeah, he goes, like, "What
But
are
I
you
saw
talking
you.
about?"
It wasn't me. I saw you on the counter. It wasn't
As it
me.
wasn't me
Oh,
in the
okay.
bed with her.
It wasn't me. Oh, okay. I guess it wasn't you.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. They
No,
just did
dude,
it-
your eyes are playing tricks on you.
That was a Super Bowl commercial with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. She's eating chips, and he's like, "What are you doing?" You know, and she's not supposed to be eating chips, and she's like, "It wasn't me," and he's like, "Oh, okay."
It was
And then he
her
catches her again.
It was her
"Hey,
clone.
what are you doing?
Yeah,
"Oh, it
right.
wasn't me.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
It's funny.
That's
Double
called
down.
that's called being a sheep, being a lamb.
Exactly. Are you a lamb, Eric?
Yeah.
I'm a sheep.
I'm a happy little lamb.
Are you?
God sheep.
I'll snuggle
Wait,
with
have-
anybody.
I'm not religious. I'm not religious.
did you? Did you?
No,
take the
I'm not a
vaccine?
lamb, motherfucker.
Hmm?
You gotten it? The vaccine?
What? No.
Your wife?
I'm 60, so I'm too young.
Your wife? She?
Oh,
My
that's
wife
right. You have to
works
be
in emergency
75,
at a
right? Wait,
hospital, and she
wait.
hasn't
What's the
gotten it yet.
cutoff? 75?
I don't know.
I think it's 75 for the first round, and then it gets down to.
The
So how is
cutoff.
it that your wife got it, but his wife hasn't?
My
Because-
wife didn't want to get it.
But isn't it mandatory at a
No.
hospital when you work there?
No,
No.
I don't know all the stipulations.
no, it's not.
So then what the fuck?
I don't care because I'm not getting it, so I don't give a fuck.
No, I'm not getting it.
Fuck no.
I'm never getting that.
See,
shit.
this
I haven't
shot.
got a
thank you.
vaccine
This-
since
No, thank you.
I
Look
don't
at-
even
look
know
at-
when.
The sickest I have ever been in my life was about 20 years ago when I got a vaccine and it fucked me up.
Are you kidding me?
Comrade,
I was so sick
dude.
that year. Oh my god.
I remember just being extremely sick like
Oh,
years
fuck
and years ago,
no.
and after that, I've never been.
And
super
doctors,
sick.
for years, they would say you don't get sick on the vaccine, the flu vaccine, right?
Mhm, yeah,
They swore up and down.
but you do.
But see, this whole RNA
Genetics, who
thing,
knows? Who
it's
knows?
connected with the new revolution, technology, technology, because it's an operating system, right? You said it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the reason why they were able to do it in 9 months is because they were able to reprogram it. I'm an idiot. You can put comments that I don't know what I'm talking about. That's
Don't
cool.
worry about that.
But
And eventually we're gonna
this
get
isn't
chat
my
going
little
here, so
reality
you guys
construct.
can talk some shit in real time.
This
and
isn't
school
my
us.
reality construct.
It's coming. It's coming.
So if it's an operating system, then that means that I'm going to be part of this technical revolution. I'm going to be, and then you have Elon Musk. I was getting into him earlier. He is part of Neuralink, and he's going to be the guy that's going to have a chip. And you're going to be connected
Is
to the
Elon
cloud.
Musk going to be the first one with a
To
chip?
the cloud. Do you want to be human, or do you want to be transhuman?
Did you watch Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Nah, I'm not a Trekkie. I'm like
that's
a,
where you failed. But
I'm a
that's okay.
conspiracist.
I'm going to let you go on this one. But in Star Trek: The Next Generation, there was a cybernetic organism called the Borg, and the Borg were a collective consciousness, kind of like a beehive, and they had a queen, and they were cybernetic organisms, cyborgs, basically. Okay, and that's basically what you're talking about here. You're talking
Basically,
about
humans are communal beings. I mean, they're like the hive.
but that's any species on this planet for the most part. There's
No,
very
and I
few
think that
animals
we're
don't
connected.
work
We're connected.
in a school or a herd
Mm-hmm.
or a gander or a you name it.
Yeah.
Okay.
A school.
Yeah.
You already
School of
said
fish, a herd of mammals,
A gackle.
a tribe, a gackle, you name it. Okay. So that's it's already there. We're just not as intense as the bees.
Because if you look at, the hive
Hive mentality.
mentality, sheep, herd mentality,
Herd mentality.
What are you?
the reptilian side of your
Are you a
brain.
wolf? mentality
See,
or
now
a
reptiles-
I'm
reptilian?
a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Okay.
I think we should take all the wives' tales and the allegories a little bit more serious. Like the like fairies, gnomes.
It's all
Things
there
like
for a
that.
reason.
They're not serious in the fact that maybe they exist on a physical realm,
What do you mean?
but maybe on another frequency, like we were talking about.
Well, it could be maybe it's an interdimensional frequency. It's a being of an interdimensional frequency, or maybe it's a being that existed here, but it's kind of a rough parameter of description.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie Bright?
With Will Smith and
Will
that
Smith.
other guy. Yeah, it was on. I didn't really watch it.
Dude, watch that movie.
Well, I watched
Is that a
parts of
newer
it,
movie?
but
Nope, it's old. It's been around for about 5 years or so, 6 years. It's called Bright,
well, like two. or
and
three.
it's okay. Is only that?
well,
not that
came
old.
out like last week.
Anyways, Bright talks about what if the
Came out
whole-
last week.
You came out last
It
week.
came out last week.
Are you kidding me?
You came out of the
It
closet.
came out last week,
You
Eric.
came out of the closet last week.
Eric, the movie came out last week.
No, George, you came out of the closet last
Did it?
week.
No.
George, you did.
What's it
You,
about?
don't you remember?
Eric,
you don't
what's it
remember
about?
doing that?
What's it about?
You do remember doing that. Come on, man. You did.
I came out like 100 episodes ago.
So,
What's it
anyways,
about?
it's about as if the whole fantasy and orcs and fairies and elves in real time, but it's like hardcore, like the police. So Will Smith plays this guy in the police force, and he's got a orc as a partner, and he has to roll up in these hoods where it's just it's fucking hardcore. It was a hardcore movie.
So he's rolling up
Like
with this.
orcs
like,
are hardcore
What's a orc?
gangsters. An orc,
Think of it as like a cholo in LA.
but with big big things like orcs from Lord of the Rings.
Gotcha. I think I remember that movie.
Dude, it was a gnarly movie. But the point being, maybe what we understand about all these stories from the past about elves and fairies and pixies and orcs and this and that and the other actually describe something that maybe is out there that we're not aware of or actually existed at one time
Okay.
and got extinct.
What's a trip is when you kind of like are interested and look at this kind of stuff, and then you watch things like I'm watching right now the Game of Thrones,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm binging on that, and it's a trip to watch that and have the discussions that we're talking about right now, because they were one thing I'm at right now where I'm just like blown away at like how they're portrayed as like men were very honorable back in the day, and I don't know what happened to us.
Men are
where
not honorable anymore.
their family name meant something, and their promise to a woman meant something, and their marriage to a woman meant something.
Yeah, it's
And their commitment to something was
Well,
It
I
ma-
mean,
you
it's
you
kinda
you,
like
you
marriage.
said
Marriage
something
is
there,
going
man.
away.
Right? You know what? If I look at even corporate culture, or even like a lot of the people that just have this insatiable desire to accumulate wealth blindly, it's sick. There's no honor. There's no honor. It's
right.
fuck. There's no clan. There's no tribe. There's no.
Well, there is no honor amongst us, but there is honor amongst them, I think, and nobility. But amongst us, we're just like clamming for the next fad, the next craze. We're just like, it's a feudal empire right now. Check it out.
I think you said it well. There's honor among the. It's almost like the caste system. It's
Right now,
becoming
we
a
don't even
caste
know
system.
it, and we don't even know it. Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody, now you know it.
And you know what?
We're in the new caste system.
There is a caste system, and like I said the last time I was here, because the BLM stuff was in, and I'm a Mexican German, and I can tell you. I mean, I was thinking about it earlier that, you know, I don't know if it's like this stuff that we're talking about now, energy, and I just been surrounded by good energy my whole life and manifestation where, you know, my parents are middle class and I just, you know, manifested my middle class or, you know, my success in life, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you are what you are, right?
You are what you eat, from your
So
head down to your feet.
I was thinking about that earlier and how, you know, I've been kind of blessed with that and how, you know, it wasn't any kind of like, and then the white privilege thing. You
I
know,
think I need to make myself a little bit more beer. I'm going to eat that.
me too.
Excuse me.
It wasn't.
Who needs a beer?
Me too.
Oh no, I'm
It
good.
wasn't. I think that definitely it's out there, and it's part of the system, the matrix that's out there, but it's being changed right now, because if the white man's on the chopping block right now, right?
Oh yeah.
So, it's changing everything, and I think that this new revolution, the technology revolution, the AI,
So
transhumanism,
back when the white man was on top, you know,
right?
what was that for? Just because they took control and they said, "Hey, let's keep everybody else down." And now that everybody's just kind of trying to equalize everything,
I'm not quite
wha-
sure
what's
why
it-
there
what's-
was
what's
why
that-
there was
what's the
such
purpose of all that?
a little bit of a utopia for a while, like the 40s and the 50s. The 50s, really, right? I mean, the 60s was destroyed. You know, in a lot of ways, where religion was really destroyed in the 60s with the, you know, the hippie movement.
Mhm.
So religion's been on the downfall ever since, and they know it, and they're part of this. I mean, and they're still still pulling the strings. I don't know how that happens, but I mean, you look at the Pope's in the news all the time, and he's calling
Because
shots
it's a
and he's
it's a
approving shit.
perceptual percentage.
But they're in charge of the spirituality of this world. The, you know, pulling the strings and the influence. They're influencers in the spiritual world, the religion, the, you know, the moral, spiritual, the virtue world.
That's on my radar. You're
Right.
right. There it goes.
I mean, virtue, like in the eyes of virtue nowadays, you can hurt people and kill people. Right? I mean, look what happened to, like, look what's happening now to the conservatives, the Republican Party. I mean,
I'm going
you
to sit
know,
back here with Guy for a minute.
they thought
There
they
you go.
were
Thanks-
saying in the
thanks for
beginning,
joining
you
us.
know, don't let them, Maxine Waters, and you know, there was a little bit of violence there, and it was justified by virtue because, you know, I'm not you know, against hatred and racism. I'm not for hatred and racism. I'm against it. I think everyone is. I mean, you know, we're the matrix, the system.
people.
It's a preconceived mind, right? We're born in this shit that's being fed and training us to be like this. When you're a baby, I mean, you look at like color and you're just like whatever.
No,
Right?
that's true.
And then
Training
you're
is a
raised
big
by
part
your
of it.
parents who are influenced by the matrix, and you grow up in this, you know,
How do you-
whatever sect you're in.
How do you feel about when seeing little kids like, you know, ages 2 to 10 on their fucking tablets all day, just to keep them busy?
It's not healthy.
Well, you know, I talked to, you know, Kevin Delaney. I talked to him, and he knows some, you know, he has some people that he knows that work at Google, and he told me that those people in the Silicon Valley don't let their kids look at that shit. And you think about it. I mean, did you ever? There's a movie. There's a documentary on Netflix that I think is pretty good, and it's called
The Social Dilemma.
Yeah, and you think about the reality constructs that are created by the algorithms that are being fed, and people are in their own little, like, we're all walking down the sidewalk together, but in our own little constructs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking trip. Now, and I say that because, you know, I have a friend that I mountain bike with, and him and I talk, and we have the same political and religious interests, and he listens to different shit. And I'm like, where are you getting this at? So there's splinters within. I mean, and we're so like divided, and it's just genius. I think it's genius because once that we are on a collective, you know, thought pattern. We're all like Avatar, that movie Avatar.
Yeah, it's
Talking about
great
movies.
movie. Yep.
Dude, that's my whole thing. I mean, we are connected to everything. Right now, I mean, these plants right here, I mean, they're connected to us.
We're being allowed to be splintered.
So, I mean, and like that resonance that I was talking about on 9/11 that was recorded. I mean, that's because we have more power than we know. And we're dumbed down. If you look it up, every 10 years we're losing an IQ point. Like I was saying earlier tonight, I use a guy to like, read old books and stuff. This guy that helps explain, because he's like, these are being more experienced people. They're smarter than me, because we can't go back and read old literature. I mean, we're basically, look at us. We're acronyms. We're fragmented.
LOL.
Fragmented.
BRB.
2 paragraphs. I'm
Usernames.
done.
We're products.
Two
LOLT.
paragraphs. We're done. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We're fragmented. I mean, you can't read books anymore.
I read books. Still.
I mean, people do.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. But look at
Well, there's a contagion in social society, which is the ability to be infected by whatever you put in front of you, and you have the opportunity to. I tried to explain that to somebody at work recently. I think
Call them out. Just kidding.
I'm not going to. I think that the social media and everything that we have at our fingertips and the internet and the information there, it's like a nuclear reactor. It's a fucking powerful thing.
it is. And there's
if
words.
you don't understand how to harness that insane amount of energy, it's gonna just be toxic to you. It's gonna script your DNA.
Well, most
in
of
a
the stuff
negative way.
that you're talking about are truth and history and things like that. So, I mean, we're changing history right now, right? And they've done it, like the Alexandria, books that they burned. I mean, we've been doing it forever. The Vatican.
Oh yeah.
They don't want us to know something. They don't want us to know shit. So, what were you talking about before? Because I had a little.
I can continue if you'd like.
I'm sorry that I interrupted you.
No.
No,
But-
it's okay. You
no,
didn't interrupt me. It's okay.
I thought I was on you kind of gave me an idea, and I had a prelim, and I forgot.
I think
idea.
that we have to limit our engagement with social media and internet, because it's too much information, and it can alter your psychology.
Well, social media,
Look that up.
the internet. The internet, though, it's been weaponized. I mean,
Overexposure to social media, overexposure to internet, overexposure to whatever. I don't know how you need to look it up, but
I'll just put overexposure to technology.
well,
technology is a different thing.
nah, you
Okay,
can't say that.
overexposure to
media-
social media.
It's social media. Yeah.
Social media. I mean, that's been proven. Social media, bullying, and shit like that. But when you're talking about the information, the internet of information, that is the Wild West, and you're going to get hurt out there, or you're going to get information. You're going to get what you're seeking out there.
Yeah, but the point
And
is,
it's been the word conspiracy has been weaponized.
I'm talking more like kids. Kids don't have filters. Kids don't have self-regulation. Kids don't have.
This is beyond kids' mentality.
Right, I know that, but if you look at the demographics of who's using YouTube, who's using Instagram, who's using Facebook, who's using all this social media, there's a whole generation that's coming up on it. That's the new babysitter.
That's
back
because
in our
it's
days,
targeted.
yeah. Well, it does.
Towards
Regardless of whether it's targeted or not, the fact is, a parent who's parenting kids has an option of, do I get shit done around the house? Do I have a babysitter? Do I have this? Do I have that? In our days, it was the TV, right? In our days,
But
it was
how
the
do
television.
you bring in the new era without the techno babies?
Right. But the point being is, it still needs to be regulated. It can't be a full-on free-for-all. It can't be a how many.
It has to
however
be
many hours you
regulated in
want.
the home by the parents.
That's what we
So
do.
how long were you able to watch TV back in the day?
Too much.
So that was like your tablet back in the day.
Me too.
And how did it affect you now?
I probably would have had much better grades in school and probably been at a better college. But the information that was available at that time was
Better than it was now.
It was very heavily filtered, good or bad. It doesn't matter. What matters is the information was tailored to be acceptable to appropriate audiences. Now, what you can see on the internet, and I don't give a shit if there's stops out there or there's 18 only.
Well, you
or
watch
whatever.
anything Disney.
Kids can get into some
things are
shit that they
inappropriate.
should not be seen. Okay?
Right.
And they can watch hours and hours and hours of it if they want to. And all it takes is a little bit of dysregulation on the parents' part to not be watching it. And kids are being exposed to some shit that they should not be exposed to.
Right.
It's what's out there is overwhelming. Not only that, they've proven psychologically that if you expose yourself to too much of those, look, everybody who's developing content is putting content out there has figured out that you have to craft it in such a way that it's addicting, that you want to return to it and return to it again and return to it again. Shit.
It's always been like that.
If we were smarter, we'd be tailoring
Since
this to
the
be more of
conception
the
of TV.
leaving something at the end where it's like, you're not going to believe what happened next, but we'll have to show you next time so that you come back to see it, okay? That fucking paradigm of thought is out in just about everything that's dominating the market right now. So you watch that, it triggers pleasure center in your brain. You watch the next one, it does the same thing. You watch the next one, it just boo, 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 this psychological roller coaster, and that is exhausting on your brain after a few hours. And there's a lot of kids that's what they're sitting in front of their tablets 5, 6, 7 hours a day. It's not healthy.
Right.
It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for you.
You
How
know-
many binge watchings have you done?
When?
And afterwards, how do you feel?
Binge watching.
Well, you know
what?
what's a trip?
Any show that has that cliffhanger on the last episode of
Let me ask you something.
Cobra
Let me ask
Kai.
you something.
yeah.
I binge watch when I had a sprained ankle, Sons of Anarchy. And I was like on a Saturday, I was watching like 7 shows. And I was getting in my car going to work, and I was noticing every bike on the freeway. And I was driving in traffic like, I'm a biker. I'm thinking like a biker. I mean, tell me, do you guys get like that? Are you like immersed into like I'm watching Game of Thrones right now, and I'm telling because we're talking about
When
all
you
this.
binge watch, right? You're talking about binge watching right now?
Yes.
Okay, I binge watched Breaking Bad.
Did you start smoking crack?
Yeah, right.
Making it.
Right.
Your
So-
Pookie's right over here on this side.
So yeah, thanks, brah. I'm gonna chase the dragon right now, brah. We're going to get him. So, but the point being, I was like, after a few nights of binge watching that, I'm like, fuck, I don't feel right in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel right in my mind
Yeah.
because
So-
I wasn't taking that one little 1 hour dose. I was doing 6 hours, and that's like, it's not healthy.
It's an alternate reality. I mean, you're immersed into that, and you're like, it's like a game. It's like these games that kids are in, like
It's
I
a
don't
little
know.
different for me. I can watch, like I binge watched Queen's Gambit, which is like a chess show, right? Chess Genius, and it's extremely
literally
popular.
the game chess.
Yeah. Like
Wow.
Chess.
Well,
And
I think
it's-
that content
it's-
might be a little bit more
You
lighthearted.
play chess.
if
You,
you
you
ask
like
me.
playing chess.
No.
I
Well,
think-
I
I think
used to
that's-
watch people play chess, but I mean,
You
when
play
it comes-
yourself though, right?
I used to, but
But you just
but-
like people playing to watch people play.
no,
chess?
no. This is like it's just like a story. Of it's not like a documentary or anything. But
All right, but dude,
But-
6 hours of people getting cut up and fucked up on drugs and
Breaking
killed
Bad
and
was,
Breaking
murdered
Bad,
and all that
Breaking
shit.
Bad is bad. but
Okay,
it's not
imagine
like,
6
oh my
hours of
God.
that.
It's not
But
NC-17.
I know, but imagine watching that for 6 hours.
I binge watched
Well,
Breaking Bad
imagine
3
watching
times.
Game
and
of
I'm not tired
Thrones.
of it. So that's why it's a little different for me. For me, I can watch a series and be like, "Fuck, this is good
See,
TV.
he's a Maori
This is
warrior.
good."
He can handle that shit.
No,
I'm
no, no, no,
telling
but
you,
it's not
he's a
just
Maori
Breaking
warrior.
Bad.
He's like, "Arr,
I can
arr,
rewatch.
killer be killed.
No. I can rewatch other shows. It doesn't have to be Breaking Bad. As long as they're fucking good and it's great TV, great acting, great storytelling, I don't mind it. But I do feel that way with music. When I look at my playlist, all the songs that I like, you know, and I listen to them over and over again because there's nothing good on the radio right now. I don't like this new stream bullshit, this poppy bullshit. And then I get so tired of listening to my playlist. I feel almost like, fuck, why did I do that to myself?
I'm still waiting for you to show up with a club that has a bunch of shark teeth on it.
or volcanic stone.
You know what song I'm listening to right now? That
Anyway.
that I like melodies, and I kind of get in, and I'm very I like to boogie, I like to dance and stuff. And so there's a song and I'll listen to a song over and over. I'm a freak like that. So
Me too.
There's a Harry Styles song,
You guys are super.
Watermelon Sugar.
You know that song's about oral sex?
It's about pussy juice.
Yeah.
Yep. Watermelon
Oral
Sugar,
pleasure.
dude. Have you seen the video?
Sexual? Yeah.
Talk about your
Oh,
pleasure.
that
He's
video
eating a
is totally
watermelon
making
and-
you.
yeah, it's making you-
telling you. There's actually a little part where I stopped shit and like look
You're
at.
like,
They showed like a.
guy.
They showed like a. We're in the retouching and just. They showed like a. They're showing like a woman's like crotch area, and they put shadowing in there. They photo touched it like to make it look like camel toe or something. So they're doing imagery there, and then the watermelon in between the girl's legs, and and the whole song. I mean, but see, that's the thing when you listen into songs now. That's an easy one. Everyone figured that out, but there's a lot of songs we don't figure out.
I remember seeing
Like-
some
like, have you
proofs
ever-
a long time ago, like 20 years ago, at a friend's. He was working in the industry, and Alanis Morissette did this naked pose, and her big bush was so hairy they had to like touch out a bunch of hairs.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Oh,
Okay.
one thing that I was going to say to that, Harry Styles was on Howard Stern one time, and he said he was talking about a new album he released, and he said, "Yeah, Stevie Nicks and some of her girls came over," and Howard's like, "Really? Were they like her coven, her witch's coven?" He goes, "Yeah, I played her my
Nice.
song, and like she is a woman in the music industry that." Like is one of the go-tos in when you're an influencer like a Harry Styles. I mean, I guess you got one of the go-tos that come and go, hey, okay, the words, I mean, because words are meaningful in songs, and words vibrate, and words are like subconsciously shapes, colors and words that we don't necessarily in our conscious recognize, but our subconscious holds and recognizes, and we're manipulated by that shit. So yeah.
Say more about the Stevie Nicks showing up with her. with
my-
So
her,
Stevie Nicks showed up
no,
and
hold on.
was listening to his song and said, yeah, okay, I like that, and she approved shit, or had him do shit, and he talked about it, and they actually had a conversation like she was a witch.
and,
my-
and her. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My
Your turn, George. Your turn.
my girlfriend's uncle, he's Stevie Nicks' vocal coach.
What, you're related to Adela? Your girlfriend's uncle.
That's
Wait a
what I
minute.
said, yeah. So my girlfriend's uncle, her uncle, is Stevie Nicks' vocal coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
He's
I just
he's an
wanted to
uncle's
share that.
monkey.
I just had like a.
monkey's
He's not my
uncle.
uncle.
I just
a
had
monkey's
like a
uncle.
Mandela effect right now. You're still with Adela,
An uncle's
right?
I am.
monkey.
Okay.
Monkey's uncle.
Okay, I just didn't know that. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't said anything negative about her. Probably because she pays him.
Well, she seems
But
like a
she's
very in tune
definitely
person.
a unique woman. That's what I've heard.
Mhm.
Very unique.
She still has the same job.
Yeah, she doesn't put up with all this bullshit around here. Willow, turn me back to my human form.
Sound like Pam.
Did you ever see that South Park movie where they make fun of her because she sounds like a goat when she sings?
Who is that?
Well,
Park,
baby,
they
I'm
make fun
just
of Stevie
feeling like
Nicks.
the room
And
is
one of their
on
movies,
fire.
what is it? The long and uncut one, South Park, whatever. The one with Satan in it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
when she goes they're gonna have a concert for the
I'll have to watch it
army
again.
troops, he's like, "Oh, we have on stage Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac, whatever, you know." And then it's a fucking goat and like in a skirt, and the goat's just like, "Meh, meh, meh."
That's a trip that it's a goat too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
How-
a trip
how
that it's a goat.
appropriate.
Yeah.
How
That they use
appropriate.
a goat.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
Talk about symbolism, guy, and his deep symbolism.
Yeah.
And nothing gets by me.
No.
So explain
Dude, I
it.
fucking stopped the TV and take
Guys, like,
pictures of
wait a
shit.
second. Was that shade of green that I was talking about earlier, where they were trying to tell us that the sky was that green?
Maybe.
That's right.
No, I know what you mean. Cult symbolisms and Masonic symbolisms and
Oh yeah, man. That stuff is I think
it's everywhere, man.
It's real. It's everywhere. I mean, come on. Like you look at Hollywood, everyone's got like. Do you have pictures of stuff like this?
Oh
Wait,
yeah, when they
Wait,
said
what
celebrities were
what
doing
can we
that.
do right now that's gonna make us like be flash some symbols to Scientology or whoever?
To,
Well, no, yeah, I remember seeing that. They had a lot of celebrities take pictures
like
where
this.
they're either doing this, like Jay-Z's
like this,
Rock
or
Nation,
like
or
this, or like
in
this,
certain photographs where they're covering one eye,
like this.
or going
Yeah.
like this.
The Eye of Horus. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's kind of crazy.
Third Eye Blind.
Oh.
I don't know about
Can't
that.
pass away.
It's all good though.
Wish you would step outside that door, my friend. No, wish you would
Is that the
step
gay
off.
version?
Yeah, I
Nice,
was like,
yeah.
what'd you say?
That's
Wish
the
you
gay
would
version.
step outside that ledge, my friend.
Second eye
You know why?
blind?
Because I think that guy. I think that guy's really gay.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, he has a very gay voice.
Hey, well, there's balance.
But maybe
in-
he's not. Maybe he's like straight, or
Wow.
maybe he's
if
like
you're out there and you're
metrosexual.
listening to this, or somehow get
There
a hold
is-
of
there
listening
is
to this,
no-
you should let Eric know that you're not gay.
Or you know, he's one of those 31 gender categories,
In that world,
or
there
is it
no,
67?
There
I
is
don't know
no
how many
boundaries.
there are now. How many gender categories are there?
I don't know.
Oh, there's.
I don't keep track.
68, 69. There's 69, 69 categories.
Hey, well, you got to
Yeah.
be sensitive to that, and sorry for not like including everyone.
We're just illustrating our ignorance here. That's all.
Exactly.
So there's
We're
nothing
just
wrong with that. I
stupid.
mean, just being dumb.
I don't even know what
Dumb.
you would classify me as, like my sexual preference, because I'm married and everything, and I don't have sex. So what is that?
You're
You're-
old.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
No,
Right?
no, it's got to
I mean,
be
once
some
you
kind
kinda
of
reach
kinda
a certain
sexual
age, you're just
identification.
gonna
I
stop.
mean, I'm married, but I don't have sex.
I mean, you've lost your
So-
mojo, maybe, or your
No,
libido's gone
fuck,
down with
no,
age.
are you kidding
No?
me?
No?
Oh, well, you're married, you don't have sex, but you
Well, no,
have
no,
like
no, no. When
you-
you reach
you
a
watch
certain
porno.
age, and you're
Relationships
like,
just
eh,
change.
Right? Yeah.
Relationships
re-
change.
relationships change hands, don't they?
They change hands.
Damn, that's pretty funny.
Oh, that's
That's-
that's good.
good shit.
Prolific.
Very. Oh my god.
That's good. I like that.
George is like, I'm trying to imagine what that's like.
No,
Yeah.
Let me
Hey.
think about that for a second. Right now, George,
If
all
I
I can
don't
think
know,
about is
And it-
I will
if I
find
don't
out.
bust my
It does
nut
feel
tonight.
weird when you change hands, right?
It is.
Yeah.
When you give yourself to stranger,
when you get, I like that.
The
When you give
stranger?
yourself to stranger.
Yeah, sit on your
Yeah.
hand and get it
That
numb, and then
sounds-
try that.
that's
Yeah.
Dave
That
Chappelle.
sounds mystic. When you give,
It's like have-
tremors in the night.
Yeah. Have
When you
given
give yourself to stranger.
Give yourself a how's your
When you give
father?
yourself to the left hand.
How's your mother?
If you're right-handed.
That's right.
Yeah, that's from Dave Chappelle. He does a skit. He's like, "Have you ever sat on your hand until it goes numb, and then you give yourself a stranger?"
Oh, that's good.
So rad, dude. Oh man,
That's good.
dude. You know what,
We've
man?
covered the gamut tonight.
I think we did.
Yeah,
think we did a good
started.
job.
We covered metaphysics and
The
sex
RGB
and-
gamut or the CMYK gamut?
I prefer the CMYK. Oh, actually, you know what?
What's it?
It
The
depends
We
hex
should
on
talk
gamut?
about the
What are you looking for
the
in color?
Newton gamut, the natural gamut, not the
Okay.
not the digital gamut. That's the new. I mean, I'm gonna take this vaccine when I have to. I'm fighting technocracy because I'm all natural human.
I don't
Me
think you
too.
need it, guy.
I don't
You'll
need
be
any
fine without
operating
it.
system, dude.
If you get it, I mean,
But I'll take it when I
you
have
won't be
to.
able to give yourself a stranger.
I'll acquiesce to the
You
system
won't be
when
into
I
it.
have to.
It's gonna rewrite
Acquiesce
your
to that
code.
request.
Well, we're gonna have to at some point. I mean, this is a, there's cogs in the wheel that are greased, and destiny is
Yeah, it
It's
is what
upon
it
us.
is. That's okay. You know what? We're older, so
There's nothing
cares?
new. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. History repeats itself.
absolutely.
And if you look at
Always,
archaeology,
100%.
at history, it repeats itself. Look at us. I mean, we're, you know,
So we're gonna be like the Roman Empire, a great civilization.
This
that
is-
just-
Okay,
this
okay.
the-
So let me leave a cliffhanger
Here's
for
a
everybody.
cliche.
Okay, hold on before you go
the
there.
destruction.
Guy's gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about this subject in some
What's this?
good detail about history repeating itself, and all the evidence that is out there to confirm that human history has been repeating itself for quite a while.
sounds like a lot of research.
Just like Hollywood.
We're
remakes,
talking about tens
remakes,
of thousands of years,
millions.
maybe hundreds of thousands of years.
All the
millions,
gods,
Eric.
all the
Maybe
gods
millions
are
of
here.
years.
All the gods that were are here.
All you got to do is just keep digging.
That's right.
Keep
And you'll
digging,
find it.
man.
All you got to do is just walk out into the shore, keep walking to the ocean, and you'll find something. You'll find a structure.
Yeah.
Like the structures out.
Oh, you mean-
outside of Cuba?
Well, it depends on which way the plates are going. If the plates are going up onto the land,
Then it'll get rid of it. Yeah.
then it'll get rid of it. If it's receding, then it will reveal
Okay.
it. so
The
to speak.
receding.
Well, I'm a firm believer that, like, you know, right now, it's all connected. Like, geographically, science tells us that cyclically we're you know, the 12,005 year, the polar
Back to Pangea.
the polar shift, right?
Mhm.
I mean, there's things going on right now that, and astrologically, geologically, but they're connected to the things we've been talking about right now.
That's funny. I remember a few months ago, or last year, I was talking about the magnetic poles shifting at a rapid rate, but yet I haven't heard anything about it. I'm gonna have to follow up on
And I
that.
don't know, like, you know, the force that controls everything. Why this revolution? I mean, because I don't know. It seems like we don't have a lot of time left with the way shit's going. I mean, in terms
Well,
of
we're coming to a head.
cosmology, you know, the sun,
You know,
the sun cycles, and what's going
even
on.
on a simpler level. I mean, there's a molecular exchange rate on our planet that in the construct of human existence, that molecular exchange is going to reach a limit. Meaning how much we consume and how much waste we create. That molecular exchange in the current construct is not sustainable.
Well, you're talking about global warming.
Whatever you want to call it, global warming, polluting the
I think
oceans,
that
use of resources, amount of
Depleting
human
the
beings,
ozone
on the
whether we
planet.
were putting
all
out
of it.
CO2 or not, cyclically, what's happening was going to happen anyway, because history repeats itself.
Okay, so
Humans
we're
can only survive
Guy,
for so long.
You're gonna come back in.
Yep.
In
very
another
soon
year.
Here, no, it's not gonna be
Just
here.
kidding.
Fuck that shit. And we're gonna touch on that.
We're
subject
gonna have
in
something
detail.
special. I have
Okay.
a great idea. If you guys are willing to tune in,
What's up?
Guy and Kybal together.
Oh wow.
Just kidding.
Guy and Kybal together.
Can you imagine that shit? Are you listening, Kybal? You probably are, because it looks like we only have -5 viewers watching right now. Just kidding. Look
So
at
there you
Eric.
Because I'm on. That's why.
You are?
No, dude, it has nothing to do with
Oh
you.
no, it has nothing. Don't ever think that guy. God damn, what do you?
It has to
does,
do with
it's
algorithms,
me.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
It's my alga.
No.
It's probably because we said COVID, and they're like me. Algorithms like beep, boop, beep, beep, 1100111001.
It's probably because, you know, I'm illuminated, and they're
Illuminati.
illuminated,
Well, I can tell you that
and I'm hard to figure out.
it's been a insane evening, and we should probably cut it
All right.
because it's getting
Thank
late.
you. It's been a
and,
pleasure.
You know, we don't want to.
Overstay our welcome.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's
All right.
Yep. People got to work.
You guys, thanks
Thank you.
Thanks for participating. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. And you know, you know where the real conversation is, okay? You know where the real fucking shitting is.
Shitting.
Shit shooting. This right here on this podcast. We fucking talk about it. We don't give a shit. We're gonna fucking put it out there. Don't give a fuck, okay? And you're gonna like this.
We're the grungiest podcast you've ever heard of.
And you're gonna make sure that everyone else needs to subscribe to this because we fucking put it out there.
Exactly.
All right. So come
We
on.
deserve better. We
It's
deserve more.
higher minded entertainment.
We're not like your fucking happy go-to, you know.
higher minded.
No,
We
we
lie to
want
you.
you
We
to
don't
use your
sugarcoat
mind.
shit around here. We tell it to you
Unplug
straight.
your
There you
fucking
go.
shit. Unplug your shit and plug into this, because this is what people who really are in tune with the world and the universe want to fucking talk about.
I wouldn't beg.
You know
I
what?
wouldn't beg anymore though.
Let's put it this way: we're on a different wavelength than everybody else.
That's
Ooh,
right.
now you're alienating people.
Oh my God! Okay, we're in.
No, you're
different
not.
Frequency.
We're on the same wavelength.
Unless you watch this. If you choose to watch this, you're on our wavelength.
Join our acoustic wavelength.
That's it. Join our sine cosine tangent. Join our spectrum.
Yep.
Join our spectrum.
Hit that G chord
Okay.
really hard. Boom.
And wear that G string and hit that G chord.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
See everybody.
Bye, guys.
Ciao.